My ex-GF, she has super conservative parents. We broke up a long time ago, but her parents just found out we had sex and her dad just messaged me. What should I do? Hello good people of Reddit, I frequent this sub a lot and I know it's filled with lots of good people that gives pretty good advice. Throwaway because friends know my Reddit account. Sorry in advance if it sounds rushed or anything, I'm kind of rushed and just wrote what I could. I'll answer any questions that anyone may have. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep to the main essentials. I 21M met Megan 19F last summer and we began dating. We were both virgins at the time. I had messed around with other girls before but never had actually gone all the way before. She basically saw it as I had already lost my virginity though. She has really conservative parents, as do I, who believe that you should hold off until marriage to have sex etc. Well, long story short, after dating for a while we began having sex. We always had protection and were careful. I just want to stress the fact that she was 18 at the time we started dating and she turned 19 while we dated, although because she was held back a year she was still a senior in high school while I was already in college. While we dated, her dad once asked me if I had ever had sex before and I lied and told him no. She had told me to lie for us, so I did, and he knew where my parents worked and I guess call me paranoid, but they have a history of doing rash decisions, so I didn't want there to be a chance where they would try to reach out to my parents and tell them what I had done. We broke up in February because the relationship wasn't working, we were fighting a lot and we decided to split ways. It wasn't exactly amicable, but we have talked a handful of times since and have been civil. I've tried to push that whole relationship out of my life since and move on. So on to the problem at hand. She texts me today out the blue telling me if anyone from her family contacts me, to not tell them anything or answer anything. I asked her why and she told me she told her sister she wasn't a virgin anymore and that she had sex with me and one other guy after we broke up. Her sister told her parents, so she wanted to warn me before they reached out to me. I didn't really think anyone would bother contacting me, so I shrugged it off and told her whatever and left it at that. Now her dad just sent me a message on FB telling me he needs to speak with me when I have a chance. I haven't opened up the message as to not show the read part, but I saw the little notification on my phone. Yes, I do realize that I'm 21 and if he tells my parents it shouldn't matter because I'm on my own and they don't really have a say in my life anymore, which they don't, but they believe about waiting till marriage for sex for religious reasons, and if they find out I had sex, it will really hurt them and most def make a rift in our relationship. I've already had a rocky relationship with them and I don't want to make it worse. My question is, what should I do? Should I ignore the dad? What if he contacts my parents and tells them? Should I tell him anything? I don't want to argue whether I should care if my parents find out or about religious morals, just about the situation with my ex's parents. I really appreciate any advice and support you guys can offer. Update, so I have been reading all of your comments and I appreciated everything everyone has been saying. I decided not to answer him and just wait it out. She texted me again telling me she was sorry, but she came clean to her dad and she hopes everything works out and he doesn't take measures. I don't know what that means, frankly I don't really care. I agree that this is between him and her and we've been broken up for a while. There's no reason why he should be looking to me for an explanation. She texted me and told me not to ignore her dad because he has my parents' phone number and will call them if he has to. I talked to my roommate and a few of my friends that live near my apartment and they advised me to message him back but feel out the conversation, not admit to anything and not justify anything. It is what it is and it happened. I honestly don't see what he gets out of talking to me or lecturing me or whatever he wants to do. I do hope he doesn't call my parents BC. That would be a real dick thing of him to do for literally no reason at all. Ugh, this whole thing is such a headache that I thought was supposed to be over with. I appreciate all the input and I will update once I can / have something to update with. Update 2. Wow, this has really blown up way bigger than I thought it would. I've been reading through all of the comments and I appreciate all the advice from you guys. So on to the update. I woke up this morning and my dad called me. I feared the worst, but he only needed like basic tech support for his computer, and that was all he wanted. I felt relieved and went through my day. A little while ago my sister calls me and asks me what my ex's dad's name is. I tell her and she tells me that he called dad and left a voicemail saying he was going to try and call again today. Most of my family was there and I was on speakerphone, so they asked if knew anything and I told them I wouldn't know why my ex's family would try to contact them after us being broken up for such a long time. My dad said it was odd and he would wait for the call and see what was up. He figures her dad just wants advice on something, so he would let me know what it's about. I called my sister shortly after and told her why he was calling, and her response was literally bursting out in laughter. She thinks it's really weird for him to do this because he gains nothing from calling us. My ex is obviously not pregnant and we both don't think he would try to pull the consent card, so we figured he just wants to tell on me, basically, and that would be that. My sister and my dad are hanging out all day today and she told me not to worry about it and it will be okay. She will be texting me and let me know or give me a heads up if anything happens. As soon as I get a response I will let you guys know. Update 3. So I tried making this post a little while back but it was taken down because it was an update, idk. Either way, a lot of you asked for an update so here it is, hopefully this one isn't taken down. Wow, so that last post pretty much blew up more than I thought, haha. I want to thank everyone who commented on it. I may not have been able to respond to everyone but I did read them and fairly enjoyed some of them as well as appreciated the advice. So I wanted to wait until after the weekend to post the update because a lot happened and oh man it's a pretty good update that most of you will enjoy. So her dad called my dad and was very emotional and pretty pissed off that I lied to him in the sense that I not only told him I hadn't slept with her but didn't plan on it. What else are you supposed to say? Yes, I plan on going hard on the paint? WTF. My dad was pretty taken back and didn't really know what to say. Her dad continued on saying how he wanted to let my parents know what a man who I was and how I took his daughter's virginity and that it needed to be fixed. My dad just told him he was sorry, he was disappointed in me and he would handle it. He talked to him some more and calmed him down and then hung up and blocked his number. My dad called me and told me what had happened. I did not give them a heads up, he was pretty calm about it. For a bit he thought the guy wanted money or something but when he realized he basically just wanted to tattle he just left it at that. My mom on the other hand called me shortly after and flipped out on me about how I could have gotten her pregnant, and did I even think about what would have happened if she got pregnant, or if I got an STD and a whole bunch of other things. Basically a fun time. I went home this past weekend to pick up something from my parents' house I needed for my apartment. Something that was mine, just couldn't take it with me the first time because it didn't fit in the car, so it was a pretty awkward weekend. I did see my sister and she made so many jokes about how one would go fixing a situation like this as how my ex wanted to. Because you know, virginities are basically sold and given and whatnot. But yeah, that's the update. All is well for now. Many awkwards were had relationship with parents is much strained.